Urban Therapy with Sun752, and this your daily go-getterism number 879 for February 28th, 2017. Tonight I want to talk to y'all about increasing your visibility. Increasing your visibility. That means that, you have to do something in order to make people see you. Oh, what, y'all think just because I wore the glasses on this one, I wore them 2 times before. I don't really like wearing glasses, but I wasn't talking about increasing that kind of visibility. Even though these do help me see better far away, but I don't need them to read, so I don't wear them all the time. But anyway, what I'm talking about is increasing your visibility to other people. In other words, increasing the way that people see you. Now, some people look at that like it's attention-seeking behavior. Well, it could be looked at it as such, but the truth of the matter is everybody needs a little attention from the right person at some time. Sometimes there are special people that you do need to notice you in order to get somewhere in life, in order to have something, or if there's something that you desire or really, really want, yeah, you have to make sure that you stand out amongst the crowd. When you go get a job, that's one of those areas where you definitely want to be the one that stands out. Even during the application process, when you fill out an application, they have somebody that just weeds out people who fill out applications. So you want to make sure that your application for a job stands out amongst the rest, so that you can get a good look. Because if you get a good look, then possibly you can get an interview. And if you get an interview, then you can wind up getting the job offer. And after you get a job offer, then you have the job. So one of the ways that you want to be able to do that is to make sure that you stand out amongst all of the other applicants and all of the other candidates. Not just a job where you work 9 to 5 or whatever, but let's say you're an entertainer or something like that. You go to an audition. You want to make sure that you stand out amongst all of the rest of the people who have auditioned for the same position that you're auditioning for. So you have to do something in order to stand out. So you want to call attention to yourself, and that's the difference between calling negative attention to yourself and positive attention to yourself. When you are drawing positive attention to yourself, then you're making sure that you are getting something that you can use for the future, something that's going to be beneficial for you. Not something that's going to have people looking at you sideways for years to come, wondering why you had to be all extra and outright with it, and just really, really, as we say in Philly, just drawing, like straight drawing. So there is a way to look for good attention and a way to look for bad attention. Even if you are looking for a romantic partner, you're looking for a woman or a man, to be by your side, somebody to share your good times and your bad times with, somebody that really makes your heart go boom, 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 boom. So you're going to do something in order to increase your visibility to somebody else. You want to do something that makes them notice you. Something that makes you stand out from the crowd. Something that makes them notice you across a crowded room. It's like, yo, that's the one right there. Now, unfortunately, some people do outlandish things in order to make that happen. Like, for example, like some women may wear like really low cut things, letting their titties hang out, or wearing really short cut things to make their ass hang out, and they're showing their body, and it works. It works. They do garner a lot of attention. They attract a lot of attention, but a lot of that attention that they attract is not good attention, because they're not attracting people who really want to be with them for who they are. They are attracting people who want to be with them because of what they are showing. Like they're attracted to their sex appeal, not anything going on up here. They may not want to build a future with them. They may not want to really be with them because of who they are as a woman. So we can run into a lot of mistakes like this when we really think that we can play by numbers. And by playing by the numbers, I mean that, like, instead of looking for that special one, you'll take a bunch of people and choose from out of that big pool. People do that, and it's a maturity thing. When you're immature and you don't really understand how things work, you think that everything is going to be okay, so you rock out in your immature state. And it's really a sad state of affairs because you can wind up bumping your head against a brick wall for years doing this mess, hoping that you'll get lucky one day. It's like playing the lottery. It's like playing a lottery. Like, it's easy for us to say that the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again and expecting a different result. But and when you really think about it, when you play the lottery, of course, you play probably the same number for weeks, months, and years, hoping that it finally comes out. So you are doing something the same way and expecting a different result. The problem with that is that you can actually expect that result, depending on the odds. If it's Powerball or Lotto, the odds are really stacked against you. But if you're talking about pick 3 or pick 4, eventually somewhere in the year, the probability of that coming out straight, it's pretty good. It's probably going to happen at some point. So, anyway, if you were to try, men do it too. Don't let me just stay on the ladies. Men do the same dumb shit too. You know what I mean? Like, I see dudes in the summertime running around with their shirts off and stuff. You know what I mean? Trying to be extra sexy with it, looking all crazy. Or one thing that cats in Philly do, I don't know if they do this in other places, but I imagine that they do. I seen dudes run around with a snake around their neck in the summertime, a big python around their neck. So people coming up and they touching the python, they petting the python. People are asking, "Oh, how old is this snake?" I'm like, ugh. To me, it's so weak, but people do it. People do it, and they mean to do it, and they do it so they can attract the attention that they need, and they really do need it. They need it, and we could always say that the reason that they do it is because they're trying to fill a void that they probably didn't receive when they were younger, and because they didn't get the kind of attention that they needed when they were younger. Now it's transferring into their adult life, and they'll do anything in order to get the attention from people that they need because they just didn't get it when they were younger and they're starving for it. Okay, fine. That doesn't mean that you can't turn it around. It doesn't mean that you can't do better for yourself, and it doesn't mean that you can't turn the negative ways of getting attention into positive ways of getting attention and increasing your visibility in that way. So a good way to attract positive attention from a love interest might be to frequent places where people who are more mature and more grounded and structured will be. Places like libraries, museums, political rallies, or things like that. Clubs and organizations that aren't just social clubs and organizations. Places where business people, places where people who are serious about something, even if it's community involvement or something like that. That's where you're going to find maturity. You find maturity in places where structure and development is concerned. So if you think you're going to get that in the club, that's not a place of seriousness. That's where people go to shake their ass, drink, get high, and cool out, floss, and all of that kind of stuff. So why would we think that we're going to find maturity there? Why? Because there are people there who are about something, and we're hoping that we'll find one. But that's not even who we're looking for. We're not looking for the grown and sexy. We're looking for the immature and slutty. And that's just the reality of it. But we can always do better. We can turn that around. We really can too. And hopefully we will. Do the things that are necessary in order to increase your visibility to others in a positive way. Make sure that you get respect from the beginning, and things will probably turn out really, really good for you in the middle and in the end. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, when it comes to increasing your visibility as far as other people, as far as the way that other people can see you, you want to go to places where people are serious, where people are about something, where people are trying to develop something, even if they're just trying to develop their mind. Yeah, you have to go to a place of seriousness and maturity in order to find seriousness and maturity. Other than that, you're just taking a gamble, hoping that you'll find seriousness and maturity. So do what's necessary. Don't forget about that thing about the job, the work thing. Right? I didn't really get into that, but listen to the Daily Go Getimism show for today, February 28th. It was called Increasing Your Visibility. So tomorrow night on the Urban Therapy with Sun show, we talk about cleaning up your mess. Cleaning up your mess. That means like when you make a mistake, when you make a mess of things, when you mess things up, when you cause trouble for yourself or somebody else, do you clean it up? In other words, do you apologize? Do you pay restitution? Do you work to fix it? Do you take your punishment? Do you make sure that everybody knows that it was you who messed up, and that you're going to be the one that takes the responsibility for it? Do you clean up your own mess, regardless of how messy it might be or less messy it might be? Do you clean it up, or do you leave it to somebody else to clean up for you? In other words, somebody takes up for you, somebody makes excuses for you, somebody fixes things for you. They clean up your mess. Sometimes we leave it to people to do that for us. Is that what you do? If that's what you do, that's what you do. But there comes a time in all of our lives where we have to clean up our own mess. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow night on the Urban Therapy with Sun show. So make sure y'all come through. March 1st, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Urban Therapy with Sun show. Blog Talk Radio. Oh, no, wait. I'm talking about the Daily Go Getimism show and the Urban Therapy with Sun show. The number to call is area code 319-527-6199. Or you can log on and listen to the entire show. blogtalkradio.com/Sun752. Peace. It's all late. It's all good though, y'all. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow night or 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.